When good readers read aloud, they match the expression in their voices to the words in the selection. Listen to The World Tree. The World of the Vikings. A long, long time ago, the mighty Vikings from the north ruled many lands. Their raids took them south to Africa, east to Russia, and west to North America. The Vikings were most at home on the water. They attacked by sea and controlled the water passages leading into and out of their lands. Their boats, decorated with dragon heads and spines, struck fear in many people. The Vikings' long boats were made from trees. So were Viking homes. Logs formed the walls of these sturdy houses. The Vikings lived far from tropical climates, so they relied on wood fires to keep them warm all year round. The roots many Vikings dug up to store as medicines also came from trees. Healers used these roots from one generation to the next. Is it any wonder, then, that the Vikings believed all of life was supported by a huge tree? Calling it the World Tree, the Vikings pictured it as a giant ash. Ash trees are large, beautiful trees that often have a diamond pattern on their bark. Usually each branch has a matching branch on the other side of the limb. Ash trees are also very leafy. The myth of the World Tree. The World Tree was thought to have roots and branches that spread throughout the earth. The roots were especially important. Vikings believed the tree used its roots to absorb all of the wisdom in the world. The wisdom was kept in a well near the roots. Odin, the main god in Viking myths, drank from this well. Other roots drew water from a spring where magical creatures worked. Their job was to dissolve the world's fate in the water. Then the roots could send each person's fate out into the world. Other clumps of roots were constantly attacked by the dragon. This dragon hoped to destroy the World Tree. If the dragon succeeded, the Vikings would lose all of their power. The Vikings believed that animals and other plants depended on the World Tree. Many animals ate the tree's coverings and leaves. A mighty deer, fed by the leaves, was thought to keep the rivers of the world flowing from its antlers. Goats feeding near the tree were said to make a strengthening milk for Odin's warriors. Other plants needed the tree's pollen to keep new seeds growing. Truly, the Vikings did get many things from the mighty trees that grew in their northern homelands. It is easy to see how they came to believe the myth of the World Tree. What have you learned about the Vikings so far, from what I read to you? What details tell you that trees were important to the Vikings' everyday lives? What did the Vikings believe the roots of the World Tree could control? How did the animals depend on the World Tree?